Connect has 7, Shireman has a dozen.
You got to get it. You got to get out on this guy right away.
Shireman able to locate Miller. Meshack on the bench for Tennessee. He's got 2 fouls. Alexander counted in 1.
I mean, had some great program.
Never reached the Final Four. BYU, Xavier, and Missouri, the only 3 with more tournament appearances than Tennessee without a Final Four. Ashworth out to Alexander for 3. That one's good, and Greg McDermott.
Tennessee with a little pressure here to make it a little harder.
Alexander with 15 seconds left. Alexander, deep 3 is good. Another 3 for Alexander. James will see Steven Anderson and Tony Chiazza are officials, and we're underway with the Blue Jays controlling the opening tip.
And Oregon starts man-to-man, but we will see that zone very soon.
Trey Alexander, he is so dangerous.
Three opponents this year shot 1-and-1s in the first half against Creighton. They don't foul.
Kuznar misses in tight. Alexander a 3, and he's got 5.
We got to just keep moving and make it so hard for them to match us up.
Shireman left alone. Spins around and out, but tipped right to Farabello. 15 to shoot, 8.5 in the first.
Kuznar doing a good job of fronting Kalkbrenner.
Shot clock at 5. Shireman puts it on the deck. Out to Alexander, left alone for 3. He hits.
They're playing way back.
Shellstad off-balance jumper, not there, and Kalkbrenner rips down his 8th rebound.
Much better job in transition that time.
Alexander creates separation, and he is... Shellstad, 16-footer, is short.
Struggling.
This is reminiscent of how the first half started, with neither team making a shot. There's one.
To get the ball out of his hands. Great move by Greg McDermott. Get somebody else to handle it. Obviously, it's not working out that well.
Well, for Oregon, their 3rd best option is in the locker room. One minute to go. Alexander, what a move. Then he hits. At the clock.
I thought the move by Greg McDermott to trap Kuznar on the high pick and roll was brilliant. A brilliant move and a big turning point in the game.
Chance of CU for the Creighton fans here in Pittsburgh.
And you know what, Andrew, a lot of times when a team...
to jump it up. And we're underway in Pittsburgh.
And one thing about Akron, a lot of man-to-man and a very good defensive team. Number 10 at defending the three-point shot. They're going to need all of that against one of the best three-point shooting teams in the country.
Trey Alexander, fall away is good. He is so... Scott trying to make it 5. He cannot, and Kalkbrenner the rebound. Ashworth tied up at midcourt. Alexander has a lane, and he'll take it.
Yeah, that was not...
And here is Thornton for 3. It won't go, and Shireman clears.
And Akron is not a really good three-point shooting team. I mean, they shoot it at 32% for the season, so they can't make a steady diet. They already have 4 threes. They only average 8.
No substitutions for Greg McDermott at that timeout. He's going to ride these starters a long way as Alexander hits another in the mid-range. Working on Kalkbrenner again. Too strong off glass, and it's cleared by Miller. Alexander for 3. Yes.
That was...
Thornton around the defender, leaves it for Freeman. Tough shot there, and the clear by Miller.
Yeah, he's really starting to be affected by Kalkbrenner.
Alexander, so pretty.
How about he's the only D1 player ever with 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, 500 assists, and 300-plus made threes. That's an incredible career between South Dakota State and Creighton.
He's got 1,000 points at each school. Alexander, reverse lay-in.
Maduro right underneath. Kalkbrenner there, tried to lay it up. No.
Nice body up, and Sharman clinches the deal.
Cross court Shireman, he'll fire it from the logo with no hesitation.
And can't go under. Good job fighting it there.
Alexander a three.
And hits. He starts factor.
12-ball run for the Friars.
Well, they are getting to the rim, though, and creating problems.
Alexander, guarded by Duarte.
Nice play, huh? Pretty, got him on his hip.
Cross court. Extra pass. Big ticket.
Nice rebound here in traffic.
Alexander wide open three.
A nice game by Sharman. Pretty. A little magic.
Jade Pierre.
Freeze the big guy.
Alexander with a quick burst. Double punch.
And how about the hang? A nice take.
Barron. Mid-range. Another rebound for Kalkbrenner.
Well, they fill the
Creighton can take the lead right here. Ashworth drives, kicks, reverse. Alexander, 15-footer.
That's his game. What? Tough angle to get it in here.
Carabello. 8 to shoot. Alexander trying to get to his spot. Pulls up. There it is. High school basketball at Long Island Lutheran from Elizabeth, New Jersey. Local kid. He's got 12.
A little zone look the last couple of trips.
Alexander on the big hop inside double team. Throws it up and in.
Very much in the Wildcats' favor. Obviously, Creighton likes to see that a little higher score.
Yeah, I think the number for this game, Kevin, is 70. It has to be in that area for both teams. 70, you keep Villanova, you keep teams under 70, you have success. And for Creighton, you want to get over that mark.
Trey Alexander, one of the best mid-range games in all of college basketball.
Who's in front of you?
Here's Justin Moore. Here's Eric Dixon trying for three. He was 6 of 8 in Philadelphia last year in this matchup.
And it's just a tough guard for Kalkbrenner. What's he going to do?
Sharman on the drive. The kick to Alexander, who's got the first.
But he can do the job off the dribble as well.
Here's Moore around the screen, looking for the first points for Villanova, and they stay scoreless. 7-0 start. Alexander for three again, and Trey. McDermott talking to us before the game, and he said, Justin Moore, to me, looks like he's back all the way right now.
The fact that he's playing really good defense, too, helps Villanova. Offensively, you know what he's capable of. I think he deserves probably more than 5 or 6 shots a game.
But Alexander breaks the nearly of the 7-1 center. And Villanova back with an 8.
And they're only going to make about 9 or so a game, Villanova. They're at 6 right now, so at what point do they say, okay, we got to now start putting the ball on the floor?
Alexander with the answer.
They continue to be two teams, no matter what their records are, that really no one wants to see, especially early in Big East tournament play.
Well, coaches always talk about it, Donnie. When they talk about Villanova, they say, yeah, we know what they're going to do. It's just a matter of stopping them. It's not a hard team to scout, but it's a hard team to stop.
And now they're different because they can switch so many parts and just know how to get up into you. And they've done that to get back into this game defensively.
Alexander on the shot fake. He'll drive inside. Off the window. He'll try to win it with a last shot. Ashworth trying to navigate amidst the din. 6 seconds to go. Alexander leaking free. 2 seconds left. Alexander fading away. Count the bucket.
chased.
The slow plays that take, and how about the physicality there of Joplin? Just go through his defender. Didn't bother him one bit.
A good start for him. He's got 7, 3 of 4 from the floor. Alexander gets open. Buries the triple. 5 already. Bad pass. Well, you got to be careful. Alexander tracks it down, puts it up. Got it.
And Cam Jones just being under control and playing off 2 feet sets that up for Chase Ross.
We mentioned how tired Kalkbrenner was. Greg McDermott trying to get him an extended break right now. As these guys for Creighton, they log a lot of minutes. It's a short bench for Greg McDermott. Alexander, scoop shot. Boy, that was pretty.
He's so good. 15 of 25 from 2. Hasn't taken a lot of them, but when he has, he's been efficient.
And another guy in Farabello like this guy with the ball now. Shireman playing their last game here at home on senior day.
Cam Jones really battling Kalkbrenner there on another rim run.
Alexander from 10 feet. Miles from where Marquette plays their home games at Fiserv Forum. Actually committed to Shaka when he was the head coach at Texas. And then when Shaka switched, he switched as well and stayed in his hometown. Inside, Alexander lays it in.
How about the steal, though? Very susceptible to that pick and pop, which Gold can make.
Mentioned he's from New Zealand, attended the NBA Global Academy in Australia before coming over to the States and playing at Marquette. Alexander bullies his way and then fades and hits. That's the perfect way to some big games really since the start of February. Alexander left open in the mid-range where he is the layup.
Yeah, that's good for Davis. He missed his first couple. You want his confidence to stay at a heightened level, and Kadari Richmond just so smart, just gifted offensively, and just an intellectual offensive player. He knows he needs guys to, and which guys he needs to get it going. Boy, Trey.
Picked off by Alexander. Had 28, 9, and 7 blocks in the first meeting, which went to triple overtime. Seton Hall is going to need a monster effort here in the second half to even force Creighton to think about it a little bit here down the stretch. How important are these next 4 minutes for the Pirates?
Shaheen Holloway, one of the best in the country at just taking it play by play and not looking 10 minutes down the road. Talk to us today about that. Just one play at a time.
Alexander with 3 to shoot. Hounded by Alamir Dawes. Just got it off. Man, beat the buzzer. Sanders. Way off the mark.
It's when you'd like to see Kadari Richmond kind of go to work. You know, no Kalkbrenner in the game. Get downhill.
Shaheen Holloway told us we have to survive the first half in this building to give ourselves a shot. And they trailed by 16 at the half. It's the largest halftime deficit of the season. Trailing by 20 here with a little over 10 minutes to play. Alexander. Man, good
from Ejiofor. St. John's up by 10 as Creighton has missed its last 5 shots in a row. 10 consecutive points for the Red Storm. Alexander looking at the shot clock. It's down to 5. Trying to get around Ejiofor. Step back is good. A big shot for the Blue Jays. Ejiofor again trying to work around Kalkbrenner and had it knocked away.
You know, when you try one move and it doesn't work and then you try another one, it's time to get it out.
Alexander at the other end with the foul. And Rick Pitino with the jumper.
Right now, this team is operating, like Greg McDermott said, within 14 feet of that rim. That's where everything is going. They've taken 1-3.
6 points off the bench for St. John's early. While the Blue Jays are 1 of 7 from 3. Kalkbrenner now working on Ejiofor.
No double team.
Lewis creeping over. Now Alexander from the outside. It's good. The second field, New Jersey went to Roselle Catholic. Seeing more minutes of late as Lewis forces one up and the rebound to Ashworth.
And Ryan Colburn's on the perfect team because it's hard to double him with all these guys out there that can make threes. So that's why you shoot. Well, you got to be a good player to do it. 66% for his career. That's unheard of.
Amazing. Here he is in the post, out to Alexander, another three, and it's good. Alexander has scored. McDermott, we asked him specifically about that stat before the game, and he just kind of said, yeah, that's what happens when you don't foul.
Well, I said there's 3 teams. He goes, well, we must be one of them. He did say that.
Yeah.
I said, one of them, you're like the leader by far.
His team has seen St. John score the last 8 points of this game. Ashworth out to Shireman, extra pass, Alexander, book it. And what a first half for well as Soriano and Ejiofor have combined for 7 assists.
And we talked about that in our open, about how they were going to guard Soriano and him passing out of those double teams, or when Colburn's guarding him alone.
Alexander to Mason Miller. That's the first time we've called his name today. He's been very quiet for the Blue Jays.
Another 40% three-point shooter.
Alexander trying to get in the paint. Good defense by St. John's. Forces a tough shot that Alexander now.
Andrew, how much damage have they been doing it right in that same 8, 12, 14-foot area?
It's exactly what McDermott told us he feared before the game. St. John's in the mid-range.
And the thing is, he's had to adjust Kalkbrenner, which he normally doesn't like to do.
Dingle has 10 points. Alexander spins to create some space and connects again. Dingle from the outside. Taylor, the offensive rebound, missed the putback, and Shireman takes it off the glass. Offensively, Creighton starting to warm up. They're 4 of 6 from the floor this half.
And you know, Andrew, it certainly would help St. John's if Utah gets on a roll and gets back inside the top 50.
Yeah, no doubt.
That quad 1 win.
Not what you want to wake up to this morning if you're a St. John's fan. Alexander to Kalkbrenner. Double team. Back out to Alexander. Another 3. He's got 20.
Up and down a little bit more because the half court's been a struggle.
First turnover by St. John's in the last 21 minutes and 30 seconds. A 7-point game. Game 1 of our triple header today on CBS. Alexander maneuvering inside for 2 more.
A foul or a flop.
Right.
But I thought it was a foul.
So the possession arrow swings back to St. John's. Something to keep in mind with 6.5 to play. Alexander off the window for 2 more, and now he's Dingle off the dime from Danis. 6 assists for Jenkins. And some of the St. John's fans on their feet here at the Garden. Another 2 for Alexander. 25. That matches his season high, which he also scored at Xavier. Jenkins has scored the last 9 points for the Red Storm. Alexander counted in 1. So Alex,
title team. Did you see that little hand hedge too? He normally makes that shot.
Kalkbrenner with the offensive rebound. Finds Trey Alexander for an open 3. Rattles around and home. One in advance. But a defensive team at UConn that's one of the very best in college basketball. And Creighton's got 39 points on the board, and we've not hit the 3-minute mark.
Yeah, of course, the other end, they have been very effective as well. That's his game. Nice little pin and curl.
Here's Newton. Can't get that one to fall. Nice. You notice Klingon backing off with that second foul.
You know, smart play. Kalkbrenner stuck a nice pass here.
Oh, Ashworth finding Alexander.
Went right at Klingon. Be careful.
90 seconds until halftime.
Alexander against Spencer.
Likes to get to his spot and elevate.
Fades away. There's that mid-range.
Wow. A little bit. He's got to coordinate on this end. Little 1-3-1 look now.
Shireman, touch pass. Alexander, another three.
Right on from here. They got to stay in the attack mode, though.
They came out attacking. 11 points already in the second half for the Blue Jays.
UConn will not pack the tack.
15 to shoot. Alexander curling into the paint. Clinging there to block his progress.
Again, always an outlet, though.
Alexander again, fading away. And Alexander starting to heat up. He's got down. Johnson in to spell him with 1:20 till the under 12 window opens up. Little pressure applied
attack.
Now. Jays going to work against it. The trailer is Ashworth, and back to Trey Alexander here.
Yeah, nice little feeling out, too. If it was there, they would have taken it.
Creighton at 59.5% from the floor.
Just held off. Real good D by Alexander.
And Kalkbrenner with a rejection. And Shireman will pull back as he gets across.
They took the hit. Proved they were resilient. And UConn will be better for this game.
Anybody ready for Madison Square Garden in March yet?
It will be wild. So many heavyweights.
Alexander, three to shoot, fades away, splashes it down. The shade three of the year for Jalen Thomas.
And what that'll do is make Kalkbrenner have to honor him and get Kalkbrenner out of the painted area, which should create some opportunities for drives for Butler.
Alexander, tough fadeaway in the first.
Let him adjust that just slightly.
Davis, acrobatic shot against Ashworth.
Fine shooters.
There's Trey Alexander drives on Kapke, muscles that one to the rim there to get the offensive rebound. The swing around to Telford. That three won't go, and Shireman.
I'm confident if those guys would have had a bite of this bench pressure, they would have made those last
there's no doubt. See, Trey Alexander.
Again, they don't pressure you to turn you over to get out in transition. On makes, misses, and turnovers, they've got to push it, and that's how they were able to get back into this game.
Mid-February, critical game in the Big East. Creighton trying to improve their stock, not only for the Big East tournament, but for the NCAA tournament. Butler trying to improve their resume to get into the NCAA tournament.
4 teams at 7-7, and they're one of them, and they've got to create some separation here late.
Davis. Into Kalkbrenner, turns it over. Alexander with the steal.
This play was to Kapke, number 33 in white, wide open in the right corner.
Creighton cash in on the turnover. Alexander will try against Kapke and finds two. His high 27 against Providence. Davis's three won't go. And the rebound to Shireman. His ninth. Push ahead. Bello running the floor. Alexander inside. Strong again. Kalkbrenner over to help. Gets rid of it to Thomas. Thomas blocked by Kalkbrenner.
Got to put your inside shoulder on his chest. So too much of the ball.
Trey Alexander. Relief off that thin bench.
Again, redshirt freshman. He got hurt right before the season started, about a month before the season started. So he missed a lot of the preseason practices and then the non-conference. So he's kind of playing catch-up, but he's really played more of late.
Timing situation.
With the back to the bench, that is a real thing, though. It's something that you do want to have somebody emerge, whether it's Jason Green, Francisco Farabello, Trout. It would be nice if you had somebody emerge from a consistency standpoint.
Trey Alexander, speaking of...
You live with the switch, and Trey Alexander takes advantage of it. Probably going to come back to it here. It's going to be a double high ball screen.
And it's Shireman working against Styles. Now picked up by Massoud on the switch. Here's Alexander to work. Against Brumbaugh. Just throws it at the rim and finds rebound. Playing with 2 fouls, and he puts it up and in.
Supreme Cook has to find a way to put his fingerprints on the game on the glass. Now he's got back-to-back offensive rebounds that have led to 4 points for Georgetown.
Here's it. 3 for Alexander, and that quiets right now. They are great friends. Styles short on that one, and Ashworth with the rebound. Ed Cooley said something, and Greg McDermott had to stifle a laugh. Alexander, three in transition, snap. Year in and year out. Seems like the best never get props for being the best.
You're so right.
Alexander's three drops again.
Consecutive double-double.
He's on a list with Zach Edey as a rebounder.
Look at that. You know, he's got to be the smallest guy on that list, but man, is he tough. And he cares about it. You know,
Yeah.
there's part of like he values rebounding. He knows that's what he needs to do.
Alexander, tough shot, makes it look so easy. He's got 18. Here's Ashworth off the inbound. That three is off. Rebound, Shireman, his 8th to Alexander for three. A rebound and a little floater drops. He's got 15, but he's had to shoot it 16 times to get those 15 points. Shireman feeds Alexander. The three falls.
Sessions for Xavier, and 2 times that their guards are making plays off the bounce with some pace. Your Creighton getting back is so important here, and on this end, running your action, looking for your shooters, going to be the name of the game today for the Blue Jays.
Runner who can play face up as well as post up and pass out of the post so very well, setting that pick for Alexander. Baseline extended, and he knocks it down.
That is transfers in. You can tell he's just getting more and more comfortable. Had the career high 43 at DePaul. Man, whether it's mid-range, it's shooting threes, it's making tough shots, he does a little bit of everything.
Alexander on a blow-by. Boy, that's a smooth move, huh? Team is to Creighton because they want to avoid a 3-game losing streak, ranked 19th. Xavier needs a home win big time today. They may need it more than Creighton. Oh, that's going to be basket interference. Yeah, has to be people here. This is early in the second half, yes, but a critical possession that does not go Xavier's way. Alexander end to end. A bucket here, and they'll go wild. Oliveri not to be. Shireman clears.
That's a tough one. It's a tough one, and look what happens.
Oh, boy. You better get back.
It's lost 69-60. Here's Oduro bumping with Kalkbrenner. Doesn't get the bounce. Rebound Shireman. And as you can tell, if you've been watching Big East basketball, you know that Creighton likes to play at this breakneck speed. They want to get some shots off. Here's Alexander having a nice year.
That mid-range, those longer shot-blocking guys. Listen, you're playing against the 2-time Defensive Player of the Year in the Big East. You have to make it difficult, and that's with the physicality straight to his chest.
Ashworth barely held on to that. Here's Alexander from deep for three. He didn't take that many shots in the first half. There's Floyd. Nothing doing there. Farabello breaks out here for Creighton. In a hurry, Shireman. Lightning in the lane. Contact. They let him play. Miller gets it free. Farabello will do a reset. 9 minutes to go here in the first half. And the electricity is just vibrant here today. Dave Simpson, Donnie Marshall with you, and FS1 crew. Alexander, the big man in his face, gets a nice shooter's roll. There's Pierre. And allow a good cutter pass, and Oduro can't convert it.
Almost deserved a handoff instead of a bounce pass. You know, almost like you're giving it to a running back instead of bouncing it.
Fade away by Alexander. That kid can really shoot. Providence 5-6 in the Big East. 3-2 here at home. Alexander fade, fire, got it.
Boy, just where you have to be confident in the sobriety of your judgment. You got to know if there's a steal, you better get it.
Shooter's touch. Trey Alexander. Oduro having the time of his life. He's got 30. $150 and counting. 75-73 Providence. Alexander got room to the cup. Light up and in. Wow.
I think that is an advantageous matchup. Telford on Mason Miller. And I don't think it's any surprise that once that Mata saw that was going to be the assignment, ran a little isolation for Telford, and he was able to score.
This is a red-hot Creighton offense. They've scored 85-plus points in 3 straight games, including their last game against DePaul, as Alexander has the first in the books.
Butler's a pretty big team, too. You know, Beer Brooks, Telford, those guys are big, strong guys. Screen, a 7-footer. Got some size as well.
Alexander around the King screen. King was calling for the lob. Alexander reverse sides and hit it. Paul sells the official.
Looked like Kapke was having that verticality, but there was certainly a lot of contact.
And Shireman loves that corner. Ashworth was punting his shot. It was a great three-point shooter.
There wasn't that much better transition defense. Stopped the ball, got matched up.
Oh, he didn't have a grip on that.
Alexander played with Nate Funk here at Creighton was pretty darn good as well.
Yeah, that's heavy. A rare miss from 3 in this game to start. And Creighton running with Farabello in, dumping down to Kalkbrenner. Grinding on Kapke. He's trying to hold his own. And forced the give up. And Alexander slipped past Davis.
Ethan, not good balance on that shot.
Brooks skips his way in. And the rebound for Alexander. He has not been able to get it going yet. Pierre Brooks. Alexander, sweet cross and roll. Bizjack hit a 3 early. He's on the take now. A tight pass into screen. And Kalkbrenner's there to defend. Creighton 44 up on the board. This offense is still humming.
Sidelines on Butler's staff, who was with the Celtics.
Well, Shireman stayed with them. They didn't get that matchup, and Creighton won it. Creighton can push back in front on this trip. Alexander takes the ball.
Brooks, time and time again, has finished at the rim because of those big, broad shoulders.
We've seen Butler unintimidated by Kalkbrenner tonight. There's Alexander for 3.
Get back on defense. Make Creighton earn it.
Extra pass to Alexander. Hustle by Kalkbrenner. And Creighton maintains the possession. Again, Alexander. That time it falls. Etienne trying to back down inside against Kalkbrenner. And that is what Kalkbrenner does. He alters shots inside.
We've talked about his blocks, but at least 10 times a game he alters a shot. It's so difficult to score over him.
Alexander rises up. Some good minutes over the course of this season. He's starting his 3rd game in a row, so his role's continuing to grow. Here's Shireman working on Henley. Alexander with a lob, and we're going to have DePaul is hanging around here in this first half. They're doing a lot of things well, and it really just starts with competing. They are putting a lot of effort in on the defensive end, and that always carries over to the rest of the facets of the game. And again, getting late in the shot clock here for Creighton. 10 for Alexander. Driving, and a nice finish with that right hand by Trey Alexander.
When I was coaching, I studied him a ton of times to come up with sets and plays just like that. I mean, he's just a wizard. When you get that whiteboard in his hands, he'll draw something up and get his guys in the best position to score layups like that.
Alexander with a run out. Now I'm putting it down.
Exactly.
A spin move by Henley. Shireman with the board.
Great job by Kalkbrenner, keeping his arms up, staying vertical, and altering another shot.
Nice screen from Kalkbrenner. Wide open is Alexander. And it rattled home. Fisher going right at Alexander. He's had success getting in the paint, not so much finishing consistently. Oh, what a take by Alexander.
Down in a stance and cleaned up the miss.
And Miller skied for the rebound, knocked it around, but Etienne came up with it, and he couldn't finish. And now here comes Creighton. Shireman surveying. Nowhere to go. So Alexander will reset things. Nobody picked up. He's not playing in the NFC Championship game, but I think he'll find a way to win both of those games. We're looking at Ashworth there during the timeout, but he stays in the game. Creighton has extended this to an 11-point lead here in the second half. And a lot of the reason why right there.
Make a ton of noise when you have this type of firepower plus the rim protector. It's not only fun to watch, but it's almost impossible to stop.
Served. He's got to take a few threes to keep the defense honest, but he is a downhill driver who is strong, who's really starting to play some good basketball.
Well, the one thing we're going to keep our eye on all night are the legs of these Creighton Blue Jays. As Trey Alexander Hall and the great Rob Anderson, as McKnight on the cut gets rid of it to Usman, and a turnover back to Creighton. The great Rob Anderson was the sports information director of the Creighton Blue Jays, did a little research and found out as Alexander, his 7th attempt.
He's a great finisher at the rim. He takes his time. He's got a lot of different Euro steps, long steps. And right now, Xavier doing all of their damage in transition.
Alexander with the... Here's Oliveri, the 3 up. And it won't go. Quick shot again for Xavier.
Well, Xavier have been active in the gap, so they got a little bit better in their pick and roll coverage right now.
And count the Creighton big. That did not hit rim. Shot clock at 6. Usman going to work. Didn't hit rim again. This time Alexander with a catch. Around the Kalkbrenner screen, Trey Alexander. Already at his average in the first half.
A lot of contact from Claude, kind of keeping Trey Alexander on his hip, but no call.
Alexander off balance.
Those two things, taking what the defense gives him. And he's got that coveted size and athleticism that you look for in a wing.
Just picked up his 2nd foul a moment ago. The entry to Kalkbrenner in the left block. Here's Alexander. Got to look at 3, and he rolls that one home in Omaha. There's Claude trying to find some room. Little strong. Kalkbrenner the rebound. Creighton has not led since 38-37 late first half. Alexander trying to give him the lead. And he does.
From the Utah State transfer.
And a takeaway. Alexander rips it away from Oliveri to the other end of the floor. Jays with a lead. Another tight Xavier Creighton matchup down the wire again. Alexander, free throw line jumper.
Good look. Kadari from outside, short, rebound Ashworth.
And if you're Creighton, you're happy with that because you kept Richmond out of the paint. You contested and you got a rebound to set your offense up.
Lovely play, Alexander.
Both of these teams playing desperate, and Seton Hall trying to protect their home court.
63 seconds left here, first half. Alexander, the pump fake, a beauty. Yes, sir.
Yep, got it.
Does. Can't get that to go.
Another altered shot by Kalkbrenner. Won't count as a block, but just as effective.
Alexander, wow, Euro stepping to a pull up. Dawes, a little bit short. Sherman with the rebound. Got a man ahead. Alexander wanted to get it to him. Didn't have a clean shot. Now he does. Here's Alexander in the deep corner for 3. They may want to think about a mouth guard next game. He's going to tough it out. What a ball game. 54-53. Seton Hall.
They're going to try to hit that high ball screen again. And Hutchins Everett is hedging high, which is allowing Kalkbrenner to either roll or slip.
10 on the shot clock. Ashworth trying to shake free. Alexander left alone. 3 ball. Yes, sir. Again. And half jump hook. That works. 73-71. He's got 19.
Quick basket. And if you're Seton Hall, you can play straight up D here. More than enough time. Creighton going back to that screen and roll with Kalkbrenner.
Alexander, 40 seconds inside of 40. 10 on the shot clock. Alexander, step back. Friendly roll. Wow. Hall up by 2. 3:06 to go here in second OT. Ashworth Kalkbrenner's wide open. Bediako gets back to him. Alexander runner lane. Got it. What a play. Sure was. 1:10 to go. Shireman. Alexander.
They want that screen and roll action with Kalkbrenner.
1 minute to go. Triple OT. Oh, they left him alone, and he hits Alexander. Pirates, what an epic ball game. Ashworth, guarded by Dawes. Here's Shireman. Ashworth quickly into the corner. Alexander gets a look, and he hit it!
Kalkbrenner's got to beg and duck in harder. Nice screen by him.
Cancel defending Shireman.
Well, they are communicating and showing big, recovering.
Alexander drives, hangs, and hits.
Pretty well guarded, too.
Back to Kalkbrenner. 2 towers inside tonight.
Nice help twice. That was Spencer. Earlier was Caravan.
Farabello to Alexander. It's down to 8. Alexander, Fader.
That's his game. Middle game. A lot on his shoulders. And Castle lining up with him. He's got to keep busy, I think. They posted him up. Nice little wrinkle here. They got the switch they wanted. He can elevate now. They come with a double. Yeah, this defense has been terrific. Oh, shoot it.
Alexander, now it's a 10. Alexander with another fader. That's a tough shot.
Sure was. Contested.
Counter troops. Here he is defending Soriano. And a good defense there. Creighton always so prolific from deep under Greg McDermott, and this year no exception. And that's what Rick Pitino told us, Nick. They have to defend that three-point arc.
I don't think there's any question about it. Transition defense and defending the three-point line are going to be at a premium for St. John's. So far, done a decent job at least running these shooters off the line. Even that first one for Shireman, he had to shot fake and relocate.
That is a
big three they are.
Alexander got ahead of the passing lane and turns defense into off 49.
Yeah, the St. John's guards are way more aggressive in this half, getting downhill into the paint.
Alexander splits the defenders, and a tough finish for him.
Call for the foul for DePaul, his first. They're trying to stand the cutter up, coming off a screen. DePaul's going to have to really be tough and defend at an elite level, because Creighton can really score the basketball. They spent a lot of time against those screens that they anticipate. Terry, as I said, keep an eye on that exact play, that coverage. That shot's going to be there all game long, because Kalkbrenner is going to play goalie under the basket. Creighton 3 for 3 from the floor to start. Trey Alexander attacks the rim and lays it in with making sure my feet are good before the 3 attempts. Etienne off the backboard hits nothing, and Mason Miller corrals it. Got to sprint back. The high octane offense. They're coming at you super fast. Get back and force them to run their half-court defense. You have to slow this team down and make them play in the mud, because if they play with space, good night. It's going to be a long one. Frederick King in for Terry, playing in a crowd. Out of control. Numbers for Creighton. Alexander takes a 3 and hits. Carter Jr. bounces. Nelson catches. Got to finish that. Kalkbrenner's out of the game. At the bunny, you got to put that down. Look how fast they sprint the basketball and advance it up the floor. You have to really sprint, point to a man, and find him. It is simple. The more time you have on the shot clock, the more time you have to get a good shot, like Alexander for
touches in terms of playing without Bryce Hopkins. And now Shireman followed his miss. What else is new? One of the best rebounding guards in the Big East. Gets it to Trey Alexander.
Ticket games. You need him to be a little bit more consistent. He's had games of 5 or more made threes 3 different times. You need that consistency to be there scoring the ball, because the one thing you could get is a little bit more shooting on the floor with Hopkins not on the floor.
Spread you out a little bit more.
Yeah.
confident Devin Carter is shooting the three. Made 34 threes now in the season. He made 35 all last season.
All of his percentages are up. 2-point percentage, free throws, 3-point, friendly bounce.
You got a switch. Oduro on Mason Miller. And a turnover.
Miller shaken up at the back end of the play. Alexander puts it in
to him, but instead it was a little hockey assist from Carter. I love how Devontae Ticket Gaines is playing. Aggressive, making plays on both ends of the floor.
Perfect from the floor to start. 4 for 4. Alexander, so. And you felt like Carter needed the ball more than he got in the first half. And Shireman picks it off. Alexander, tough fadeaway, rims down.
He's had a rough day shooting the ball. 3 for 13 now.
Creighton just 1 for its last 8 from the floor.
Get Isaac Trout on the floor, see if he can take the lid off the basket, shooting the three.
How about
the season than he did all of last year? And this guy is a much improved shooter.
Nick, you talked about it early in the second half. It felt like Providence lost that juice that we saw him have in the first half. It's back as Alexander.
Ed Cooley's very high on the freshman.
12 games, 9 starts coming into this one. He's a transfer from Texas, but he's a DC kid. Alexander off the screen, curls toward the hoop. Nice jump stop.
They look very hard to score. That was a good sign there for the Hoyas.
Hoyas on top by 2. Alexander under the basket caught. Shireman trying to give it up. He does so to Kalkbrenner. Fakes the handoff. Ashworth up top, little hesitation. Ashworth was running a lot of the point earlier this year. Alexander for 3, it's good. Wayne Bristol, the transfer from Howard. 3 up top for Fielder, too strong, and Shireman with the rebound.
Ed Cooley likes Fielder. He told us before the game he thinks Fielder's going to be a very good player.
9 points against Marquette. Alexander just tied this baby. One ball up top, looks in, nothing's there. Stolen away by Alexander. Alexander trying to go to length of the floor, gets contact, off the glass, it's good. Cook all by himself, out along the floor.
Yeah, and again, a lot of that has to do, like I said, with that drop coverage.
That 3 is no good. It was a good look for Masood. Alexander heading to the basket, and he lays it in, goes. It just hasn't been Styles' game. Shireman for 3 again. This time, it's too strong. And the ball's tipped out to Ashworth.
Shireman's one of those guys, Tom, whenever he shoots it, you feel like it's going in.
He was already back at midcourt when it left his hand.
Yes.
Alexander speeds to the rim, lays it in. He got a great angle to get some space. That stops a 21-5 run by the Blue Jays. Alexander toward the baseline. Alexander underneath. Farabello, little contact. Shot clock is at 7. Alexander with the shot clock at 5.
Well, he's the one guy that can go off the dribble.
And he does go off the dribble, banks it home. Well, under 10 to play. Styles, pull up Jay for the baseline. And he just hasn't been able to find a rhythm tonight.
And, you know, if you asked me before the game, I'd say Styles would have to have a huge game.
Meanwhile, Alexander, Shireman with another rebound. Shireman trying to get a couple guys off their feet using his strong hand. No good. King with the offensive board.
Yeah, that's one that Mutombo has to get.
Alexander, boy, beautiful finger roll. Fielder for 3, that's good.
And all of a sudden it's 14. I know there's only 2:38 to go.
Yeah.
I've seen some crazy things happen.
68-54. It's a 10-0 run for Georgetown. They've gotten some stops.
And you notice that Greg McDermott hasn't taken his guys out.
No. Alexander,
pretty sure.
And it's a 13-point game. As Lapp said, stranger things have happened in college basketball. Brumbaugh has 19 points, 15 this half for Georgetown.
I might have tried the foul one time.
Shot clock is at 8. Ashworth into the paint, kicks it out for Alexander for 3. Yes!
Cam Jones trying to lead. Farbella. What a read.
Alexander pull up. Trays it.
That's his game.
Rattles in.
They give the assist to Oso. They don't get back.
Alexander wide open. How does that happen?
I think they were caught.
Joplin wanted it.
I would have brought the house down. Great look. Set up by Cam Jones.
The Marquette bench has been a sight. Alexander contested. Tough, Nick.
Sure was.
The open about Kolek, that so many defenses tend to go under on screens against him. We haven't even seen that action that much today.
He can burn you with that. He's confident with that stroke.
Nasty crossover, Alexander.
That was tough with the ball.
Shireman, Marquette's first lead. It's 42-41.
Boy, he gets that shoulder and hip by you. He owns you.
Alexander slithers to the cup and responds.
Again, they've had their difficulty in the half-court set. They're a little bit of a zone look right now. A lot of matchup. Again, Kalkbrenner at a disadvantage in this particular set.
Ashworth was given space. Alexander hesitant 3. Got it.
Wow, how about that? And talks on that defensive end.
3-possession game, 20 seconds, no timeouts. Alexander and 1.
Drop step finish.
Look right at King, who came in off the bench after Kalkbrenner sat down.
That's the shot right there.
From the elbow, Alexander is true.
The 2.
Now Dixon, the trailer in transition, his 3 strong.
Really not settled. Momentum carried him forward.
Trey Alexander, quiet first half. Pivots, fadeaway splashes home. That didn't really do it.
Hassan, again on the move, not really set. Happened to a few of the shooters for the Cats.
Alexander going end to end. Longino in front. Tough shot for Trey Alexander, but he gets the roll. And it's Alexander and the Jays who control it.
Well, they got some shooters on the floor right now. If you overhelp.
Problem for the Jays is those shooters haven't been hitting their shots. Alexander hits one to start.
By him. I don't think that's going to happen. Got to get up there.
First lead since 15:30 in the first half for Villanova. And what a shock. It's Dixon who provides it. He has 29.
Back screen on the big and a dribble drive by Alexander. And how about that goal? Guy able to dominate at the rim.
10 for Hart tonight, into double figures now. 1-point lead for the Cats.
The Horns look stagger. And this is when he rolls to the rim. Kalkbrenner. Pretty shot, Sanders.
He simplified the game. There might have been a situation that you simplify that. Maybe you throw the lob or you go in stronger because it turns into now 2 points for a very good scorer at the other end in Sears.
In a game where the momentum shifts, you figure, are going to be plentiful. There's a mid-range jumper.
That's when Alabama is at their best. When they spread the floor, they spread you out, and now it's a little bit harder to try to come help. You leave a guy, they're going to find an open shooter, and if they don't, they have the talent to score one-on-one.
And they can do it in bunches. As that went off the foot of Alexander, he picks it back up. Must have gotten deflected. And Alexander turning around.
He is a special, special player. Big-time scorer. The thing that makes him so special, Grant Nelson, is he's positionless. There really is, you can't put him in a spot and say, this is what you are. He can play every position on the floor.
Yeah, he's very much a contemporary big.
Phenomenal athlete as well.
King set the screen, rolled to the rim, freeing up Alexander. Another that's going to come from. That's Estrada, and that's the first Alabama lead. It's sort of a confused crowd right now, stunned to silence. Alexander with a Euro step and then over.
Alabama just has athletes, and they have to use that ability when they see a one-on-one situation and continue to get into the paint. Griffin, great job of recognizing that.
Remember, the NCAA tournament game that Alabama and Creighton played 11 years ago was 58-57. This is 42 all, and we're not at halftime yet. Alexander beats 2 to the rim.
Just as usual, he knocks down a 3 and just runs back down the floor. Doesn't need to tell everybody what he just did. Solid.
Now, how about Alabama with Kalkbrenner back in, sticking to their three-point shot a bit more early in the second half. Kalkbrenner the screen. Alexander probing and pulling up for Cash again. That is the 50th point in the paint for Alabama tonight. 50.
It tells you that they can adjust. You know, they're not one-dimensional.
Well, that's good news for the NCAA tournament. I mean, sometimes you do have to play different games, even within a game. Or one of those pods at the very least. King is on, Kalkbrenner is off. Alexander using some space, and that turnaround. Let him cook. Sears, another. That one was wide. He knew it. And Griffin got a paw on it. Taken away by Shireman. Here's Alexander. He scores.
Rodriguez. Alexander and Ashworth take turns bringing it up. Ashworth plays mostly point, but off the ball as well for Creighton. Utah State transfer. Kalkbrenner, who does have a three-point shot on the perimeter, gives it up to Alexander. Good defense from UNLV on this possession. Shireman throws it back to Alexander for 3. There's the first 3 for the Creighton Blue. UNLV back up by double digits.
I didn't see that coming, Carter. First game this year.
Alexander lost the handle, got it back, spins it in at the rim. Nice move from Trey.
All season is putting Kalkbrenner in ball screen action, making sure he has to guard. You'll see him in a deep drop a lot. He's that rim protector. So if you've got a guard that can come off and hit pull-ups right there, that's going to challenge the Creighton defense.
Step back 3 for Alexander.
Against Baylor, 17 points. Against UConn, ranked 21st last year, another 17-point outing. And he's just a player that knows that those moments are super important for him to step up, and that's a sign of toughness and focus.
Alexander in the corner. Close to that pace again here today. King pops out to the top of the key. He's 10 to shoot on the shot clock. Another 3. This one goes in for Alexander.
Their bench, there's a lot of guys down that bench. King and some other players, some young freshmen. McDermott's not shied away from signing freshmen in this transfer portal era.
And you can feel it. You can see it when you watch this team play right now. Alexander looking up ahead. Now push himself. Little crossover and a reverse lay-in. Oh!
Making 20 free throws per game, and they're averaging 81 points per game. 6-0 run for the Huskers. Alexander right into the chest of Rick Masting. Alec against Kalkbrenner. Great defense. Well defended and picked off by Alexander. Steps it through. High off the window and in. Gary in the paint. Tough contest. Shireman was there and rips away the rebound. Alexander, all kinds of footwork, took him to the prom.
Damage inside, and Creighton's done a pretty good job running him off the three-point line.
There's some pressure now from the Huskers. Gotta start stringing together stops if you're Fred Hoiberg's club. Whoa! Hammer time! Trey. Everyone talks, Nick, about their offense, but this is a top 20 KenPom defense as well.
Well, and last year they were a top 20 defense as well, and it all starts with Kalkbrenner, the two-time Big East Defensive Player of the Year.
Alexander buries it from downtown.
The fact that that matchup didn't get flipped emphatically in favor of Nebraska was a really big deal because that allowed Kalkbrenner to kind of loom into the paint where he traditionally wants to be.
The quietest Pinnacle Bank Arena has been all year. 5 to shoot for Shireman. Alexander, floater to beat the buzzer.
From Mike Point. And this is the youngest team that he's had in his 7 years in Stillwater. Brandon Garrison, a McDonald's All-American with his first 2.
Look what Oklahoma State's doing. They're trying to fly up the court. If they have the 3, they'll take it on opportunity. If not, they're going inside.
Ashworth hits the deck, no whistle. Now Kalkbrenner. And he's blocked by Garrison. Creighton maintains possession. Alexander silences the crowd. But there hasn't been much more offense from Oklahoma State, especially in the second half of this first half.
Mike Boyd trying to change up the pace a little bit, a little 3-quarter court, soft pressure. They'll fall back to man.
Creighton 1 free throw away from a trip to the Final Four last year. They feel like they have as good, if not better, a chance this year. And they're showing it tonight. 1 minute to go in the half, 5 on the shot clock. Alexander, there's the mid-range. Alexander fading away for 2.
I mean, how can we go against your Georgia Bulldogs?
That's right.
You're writing a big check there every semester for the young Hollenberg. But 3 straight for the Bulldogs. But I think Alabama is playing very well right now, so that should be a good game. Force the issue and try to win the game in 3 or 4 possessions, they're going to lose the game. So keep playing solid defense, but be extra patient on offense.
Alexander right out of the timeout. That mid-range, 11 rebounds for the All-America candidate.
He's just so big, it's hard to shoot over the top, and you lose vision of of the touch on that little floater because Kalkbrenner is just in the middle with his hands up.
Alexander getting to his spot.
An impact, a gorgeous look there to Clifford.
Really good.
And the freshman from Vienna, Austria, making an impact coming in with that sweet assist. And now Alexander not stuck. Ruben handoff for Dawson. Taking it all the way. Erased by Kalkbrenner.
Yeah, the problem trying to get to the rim is with that drop coverage and him dropping into the lane. It's really hard.
Alexander still does not have a point yet. Averages 21 per game. Determined. Gets the roll.
He was a shot and a half now.
Shot clock off. Alexander with a quick glance back to Coach McDermott. He'll hustle it on the drive.
Yeah, that time Creighton did not get back well. Obviously, Trey Alexander was on the ground.
Farabello tracked by Dawson. 3 on the way. Oh. Alexander is not at this point. Nope. Encouraging Ashworth to get into the offense.
Well, they need to get a good one here. I'd throw it into the big guy. Even if he's not going to shoot it, it puts a lot of pressure on the other team when a big guy like that catches it down in the box.
Alexander. Tough.
Ashworth makes him pay, and then a great drop-down pass from Baylor Shireman to get Kalkbrenner the layup.
Kalkbrenner, the leading scorer a season ago. Alexander knocks his first bucket of the night.
I can't even say that looks like his dad because that didn't look like Shaq at all. Uh-oh.
Oh, my! And Alexander. Contested 3 plus 1. Shireman, second chance. Alexander at 3. Yes, sir. Shots tonight for the Creighton Blue Jays offense. Alexander doesn't matter. who made a couple of tough shots in the first half. That's his first of the second half, and he's now got 7 points.
He was suspended the first 2 games of the year, played against Virginia, and now is this his second game of the year. Look at that stuff.
Nasty, dragging.
Attracting the defense, and then Trey Alexander making an easy read.
But Ashworth going behind the back. Shuffle pass. Alexander.
Ricky the trailer, working on Kalkbrenner. Fran McCaffrey wanted a whistle there, didn't get it. A head cut to Alexander. Baseline drive, and the spin for Trey Alexander.
From Cricky, he might have been moving a little bit, but that's an amazing screen, and you just see Sanford does not need a lot of time to get it up.
Alexander inside, got Perkins in the air. He wanted the and one.
Does not typically turn it over. They're one of the best in the country at taking care of the ball.
Josh Dix a little strong from the foul line. Alexander looking to push. A little Euro step to the rim, and that's what Trey Alexander
from Bryn Cricky on the pin down. He's done a good job freeing up his teammates for jumpers. And Patrick McCaffrey at 6'9", that's an easy one for him to rise up and curl into a jumper for.
Shireman the handoff to Alexander. On the way to the rim. He just bullied his way to
get it started.
Here's Cricky fading away this time, and that fade may have cost him as Alexander pulls down the rebound. Jay's on the run. Ashworth 0 for 4 from the floor tonight. He'll hand it off to Alexander.
Two 3-point opportunities, and Ashworth could have caught the ball cleanly.
Alexander, open look. 3 falls. 24 for the leading scorer in the Missouri Valley Conference a year ago.
This is impressive.
Kalkbrenner, back cut. Alexander for 2. Perfect. McCaffrey couldn't get it to drop. Alexander to push and to in for the hammer. 15 points, 10 rebounds, 7 assists. Give him 11 rebounds. He doesn't need rebounds. He needs assists. 3 away from Creighton's 4th ever triple-double. Shireman. Back out to Alexander. To work. Breaking down Dembele and the 2. Not looking for the assist here, but he finds Miller in the corner. Can't hit the 3. Kalkbrenner offensive rebound. Ashworth. Back out to Alexander. To the rim. Easy 2.
Dakota State has some size to maybe give him some trouble.
Absolutely, and with all these threes, Sloan, Creighton can't forget about getting the ball inside to Kalkbrenner and try and get him touches.
Guarding him is Andrew Morgan. And getting that tough assignment to try and push him out of the paint. Tapped away. Shireman has to go chase after it.
Hey, Scunberg saved a layup there as Kalkbrenner was open.
Alexander just weaving through some traffic, and he'll knock it down for the first points for the Bison.
And that's a shot that Creighton's willing to give up. They want to force tough 2s. So that shot will be there for North Dakota State.
Second year as the point guard for this team, working on that jump shot as they go inside to Alexander. He wants this one-on-one post-up against Lance Waddles, a brand new starter. Kisses it off glass to new into this matchup, guarding the big man, Andrew Morgan, who goes to work, can't flip it up and in.
The opportunities you get to attack the rim without Kalkbrenner on the floor, you need to take advantage of it.
Alexander, another mid-range. He gets the fade away.
Got to continue to stay aggressive. When you get in the post, you got to try to make Kalkbrenner work. And Morgan's been getting good shots. He's just missed some of the short bunnies because of the length of Kalkbrenner.
2 for 8 in this game. Also solid defensively, but
One thing you haven't seen a ton from North Dakota State is mixing up defenses. They're primarily a man-to-man team, but you wonder with how well Creighton's played offensively if you try some zone just to give Creighton a different look.
Beautiful move by Trey. And Mason Miller, too, with 3 threes today. He's someone who's taking on a brand new expanded role, has been in the program for a year, and they have expectations for his growth, too.
What he does first really well is shoot the 3.
Possession running baseline to baseline. he's been able to take advantage of those opportunities that he's got.
And those early post-ups are really hard to defend. You're sprinting the floor, then you got to get in a stance, battle for position.
Alexander goes all the way. Count it. Kari White drains the three, and North Dakota State stringing together some possessions with points. Still all Blue Jays, shooting 65% for the game. Alexander off the dribble, beautiful.
Per game last year, there's a 2 from KJ Parker, the true freshman at Winter Haven High School in Florida. Alexander, a little bit of a blow by, got to the rim, past Hans Lewis running back. Parker, a little step back, rebounded by Shireman. No more flowing locks this year for Baylor Shireman.
No.
Alexander going to work against Lamar. It's going to be a big year for Ryan Kalkbrenner on the offensive end.
Yes, I think as he went through the NBA draft process, it's something that the scouts do want to see. And he's a good free throw shooter. He's got natural touch.
And Alexander's got a little touch at the rim. Per game and 3-point percentage. And oh, by the way, good free throw shooter too. Rebound off the miss, left short. Miller cleans it up. Ashworth to push. Rattler's got back quickly.
I'm going to try to get Kalkbrenner involved. Kalkbrenner's not taking a shot. A lot of that's by design with the pick and roll defense, but you can't forget about the big fella.
Here's Kalkbrenner. Pushed out with the double. Now the rotation around. Extra pass. Oh, Ashworth, the open man. Alexander will try the three with 2 to shoot, and he hits it from deep. 13.
They've led the points for Creighton, but 9 made threes.
Wow. Inside, rebounded by King. Here's Alexander. 13 first half points for Trey Alexander.
And running the point again. Farabello at the 2, and Jonathan Lawson, the Memphis transfer, in at the wing.
There's Alexander, the jump stop and the finish. He's got 15.
It's his best shot.
With 3 on the board. First three-pointer of the night for Florida A&M.
So a massive advantage from the three-point line for Creighton.
Alexander trying to get it back. And he does. Trey Alexander with the tray. Alexander from the logo with the fadeaway. And Alexander with 20.